Guys, it's Debbie from What's Mama Cooking For Us, and today I'm going to show you how I do some food prep. I'm not like meal planning and making meals. I'm just prepping up my food for the week so it's all cleaned, washed, and ready to go. So I got celery, carrots. Over here I got some hot peppers serranos, and some green beans soaking in a solution of vinegar and water, and 3 parts water, 1 part vinegar, and it doesn't make your food taste like vinegar, so you don't have to worry about it. But what I'm going to do is do these all in stages and batches, and it takes me about a good hour, maybe a little bit longer, because I buy a lot of vegetables and I have a lot of vegetables. But so in this video, I'm just showing you how to prep your food to help, you know, be prepared and ready. So what I do with my celery is I take the whole thing, I don't clean and do the whole thing. I just take like maybe half, clean it, do what I do, and then I put some of it back in packages like whole, and some chopped for recipes for the week. And same with the carrots, because carrots last great, so does the celery. But to make it easier for me, I'll just do about, you know, like maybe 4 carrots, because I got like a recipe I'm going to use for the carrots, and then just to snack on, or if you want to just put them in your salads. So I'll show you how I do that and prep that. And then in the next video that I'm going to do, that I'm going to label prepping, you know, food, how to, you know, this is how to clean it, and the next one's going to be like how to store it, so that, you know, once you've cut it, it's easier to, you know, pull out to put into things, you know, if that all makes sense. That was all a big mouthful, a little bit crazy. But yes, I just wanted to show you that. And let's see. So guys, I just wanted to tell you, you know, when you start working with your vegetables, you know, every week, some people try not to buy fresh ones because they don't know how to take care of them or handle them. And of course, you know, many do, I'm just saying. But some people, new cooks, they'll buy it from the can or frozen because, you know, they think, oh, this is too hard, too much work, easy. You know, I'd rather just have an easy job. But, so I'm just going to show you how to clean it and prep it. And the more experience, you know, in life, just like anything, practice makes perfect, you get better at it. You start learning what lasts longer, what needs more attention, what you can just, you know, leave in the fridge and it'll be fine. And that way you don't have a lot of waste. And or, you know, you can always just look anything up on the internet. I mean, these days everything, you know, you can look up on the internet. And it doesn't happen overnight. You know, you might have worked with, you know, certain vegetables, you know, right along, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not even gonna attempt that because I don't know how to handle that. Ask people. Ask, you know, watch my videos. Like me, I'm scared of artichokes, but I'm getting ready to attempt them because, oh my God, I can't wait to have some of them. But yeah, and you'll start to feel what things are supposed to feel like, look like, what to watch out for. So I just hope this video will help you guys out. And stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to show you like how I do like some more prepping to prep things up, like say I want to cut celery up for a recipe, I need carrots for a recipe, or just prep these green beans like so they're all ready so I can just pull the bag out and cook them. Or if I'm not going to use them, I can always just freeze them, and lots of vegetables freeze great. The majority of them, they just all freeze so good. And so stay tuned. Okay, so then just take these, rinse them, and put them over here. And I like to put hot peppers in a lot of things. I like hot peppers. So yeah, and that's all you really do is touch them, feel them. Same with the green beans. If it feels soft, get rid of it. And there's a little bad part. I'm going to cut that off when I, you know, do my prep work. So it's okay for now. But if there's you know, some things in there that don't belong, get rid of them before you rinse them. Or, you know, then when you rinse them, you'll be all set. Okay, and I wanted to tell you, I have a colander sitting inside a bowl, or you can just do it right in your sink with the colander. And then that way, when you're ready to rinse them, now that you've gone through them and picked out the bad stuff, just take your colander and then put it over in this sink. And now you can, you know, rinse them and let them drain. and then they'll be ready. Yeah, look at, see all that stuff in there? So, and I'm going to rinse this twice because, you know, they've been sitting in that water. I'm going to rinse these over twice and then drain them and drain all the water and then rinse them again. Okay guys, so I'm just going to keep these little serranos right in this little Tupperware dish. Fits perfect. Keep it in my fridge. I put the green beans in a baggie, 2 baggies. So I have plans to have a, you know, as a vegetable, as a side. And, you know, you can throw it in salads, throw it in different things. And if you don't use them up, seal it up really tight, stick it in the freezer. They're good to stay freeze perfectly. And so that's how I store those. Okay guys, so I have them over here, and I'm just washing off all the heavy dirt first, and then I'm going to put my vinegar in there. So let me just get some of the heavy dirt off there first, you know, and then I'll let them soak. So I think they're pretty good, 10-20 minutes, let them sit in that vinegar water. And then you want to take your water and rinse them, and don't ever worry, feel that dirt in there, don't ever worry that your food's going to taste like, sorry, the water's running, that your food's going to taste like vinegar, because it's not. Now the beets, they're not on the Dirty Dozen, but I still clean mine good because they are a root vegetable. Okay guys, while the beets are in the oven cooking, I've taken a lot of these items out of their packages so I can get ready to start washing them and prepping them. So I have water started over here, and I'm going to put in my cucumber, all my tomatoes. Turn the water off and put 3 parts water, 1 part vinegar. And let's see, got a couple zucchinis and my Campari tomatoes, my favorite tomatoes ever. And then just let these sit and soak. I gotta add a little bit more water. And then you're setting yourself up for success. Now, I just felt a soft tomato. So if you do, put that to the side. Either eat it now, you know, go ahead and have it. Or put that on the top of the bunch so that when you go to use them, you make sure that you're using up that one first. And same with all your vegetables. You know, pay attention. Watch what not watch what you're doing. You know what I mean. Pay attention to them. Look for the parts that aren't doing so good, and try to use those up first, or cut it off, get rid of it. And then, you know, just let them sit here and soak in some cool water and vinegar, 10-20 minutes. And if you do get some, this is an English cucumber, so you can eat the skin, but if you do get some dirt on your vegetables, you can use a tiny bit of Dawn dish soap. I usually only have to use that on maybe potatoes, stuff like that. Oh, I was gonna put my peppers in here too. I could get all them in there, get them going. Probably should have put the tomatoes on the top, but you know, I always do everything backwards. But yeah, just give your fruits a rub. Do it really good up here around the stem as well. Yeah, so just let them sit while you go on to the next item. So you're setting yourself up so you'll be all prepped for the week. And this way it makes your life easier. Okay guys, so I let them soak. And always try to make sure you get under, you know, that part there and these parts here. And then this is what I was talking about. See that? It's kind of like going, it's open, so it's going to spoil sooner. So I'm just going to eat this now. It's perfectly fine to eat. It's just if you let it sit another day or two, it's not going to be. So, and then I got those draining, and then I'm going to start my next vegetables. Okay guys, so I just have these all out, laying out to dry. This has only been taking a few minutes. And then I started the parsley and the green onions. And then, yeah, you got to push the green onions down. And then I'm going to put them in that way. Then flip them in this way. And, you know, clean them. Clean all these stems. Get in there with your fingers. Use your fingers. It's okay. Just, you know, take some little TLC. And, yeah, it's not hard. And you don't have to do these all in one time. You could do them, you know, say do some today, do some in the morning, do some in the afternoon. You don't have to do it all at once. But I like to do mine, like I did my fruits yesterday, and today I'm doing my vegetables. But I like to take a break, and then you do have time while these soak anyways. And, you know, go take a little break. And in the meantime, you know, these will all dry. And I'll show you how we're going to package those up to store them to, you know, help us have a better start to our week. And, yeah, so, okay, guys, so I have these all out drying. And actually, they all drained in the colander first, drained on the paper towels, and then I've pat dried, you know, the majority of it. And so then everything, moisture's like your enemy sometimes to vegetables, depending on which kinds it is. So then with my tomatoes, they're all clean and dry. I like to keep them, all tomatoes should be stored on the countertop, not in the refrigerator, ever. Once you slice into one or cut into one, then yeah, you can put it in the fridge and it'll be okay for a day or so. But they're stored, supposed to be stored outside the fridge to keep their best flavors, and they stay fine. Don't have them in any sunlight because you don't want them in the sunlight. Well, if they're unripened, sunlight's good for them. And these little other tomatoes, these are so good too. Just pop them in your mouth. It's such a sweet treat. And then those are all set. I'm going to show you in a minute what I do with these other vegetables, the bigger vegetables. And then I take my green onions, and I just put these in a paper towel, in a plastic bag with a paper towel. Let me put them in there and show you. Okay, so I got them in there. So I'm trying to do this with one hand because the sun is shining in here so bright that when I try to do things on the counter, the sun's in the way. So anyway, so just keep those right in your fridge. They'll stay in there good a week, maybe longer. Yeah, so those are good. And keep that sealed up because they do smell like onions, and you don't want your whole fridge smelling like onions. And then over here, oh, I'm going to do the same thing with the parsley. I'm going to put them in a bag with a paper towel as well. And now I got my potatoes soaking in water in the vinegar solution. And I do use a little bit of dish soap on those and for potatoes. So what I do is I just take the dish soap. Here's my dish soap. Take a little dot with my finger. See, barely a little. And just give them all a little rub. Do as many as you can with that little bit of dish soap. And then if you need to get a little bit more, go ahead and get a little bit more. And it really does help, and it won't hurt your vegetables. If you have, you know, openings and stuff, you don't want to use dish soap. And then you want to make sure you keep letting it soak after you do that with the dish soap. Keep letting it soak in the solution, and then rinse them really, really, really well. And in case in this video I haven't told you guys, because if you don't watch the fruit video for some reason, I use this little drying mat. It's like for your dishes, but I use this and I put my paper towels over this so it helps keep for the moisture. Okay guys, I also wanted to tell you that if you don't use up all your food in the week, and you're not going to use it up and you're afraid it's going to go bad, but before it does go bad, all these can all go in the freezer. These green onions, your parsley, the peppers, your onions, even your garlic, and then that way you can just pull them out. I have a video, Prepping Ain't Easy, and I have a playlist. I'm going to link it up here just so you guys can see some of the things I do to try to save us money, save us time. And yeah, because these vegetables are kind of expensive, and you guys are probably wondering why I have so many vegetables. But I don't eat a lot of meat. I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan, but I like my vegetables. I eat lots of vegetables, so I choose to go that route with, you know, how I spend my money on good, healthy vegetables. And also, don't throw away your stems for parsley. Lots of nutrients. You can use that in your soups. I even put some of the stems in whatever I'm cooking, unless, you know, it's just like a topper or something that you're just sprinkling on top. But if you're cooking the stems, they're very high in nutrients. And yeah, so let's get these potatoes finished up, and then we'll rinse them. And then when you're storing potatoes you can keep in the fridge, but I choose to keep mine out of the fridge and on the counter or in a dark place, definitely never near sunlight. And never store your onions next to your potatoes because they give off different gases, and yeah, so you don't want to store them together or even next to each other. You know, keep them like apart, like so yeah, that's a little tip to help you guys out. Also with the avocado, same thing. Avocados can be stored in the fridge or outside of the fridge. So when you bring them home, if you want it, if it's ripe and ready to go, you can go ahead and leave it right out on your counter. But once it's ripened, then you want to put it in your fridge to try to save it and like preserve it, if that makes sense. So once it's out on the counter, and it's good and fine for you to use, but once it starts to once it is ripened and you don't want it to go further, put it in your fridge, and that helps preserve it. Okay guys, so I did the potatoes, and I did have to use some Dawn dish soap because these were some rough looking potatoes, especially these sweet potatoes. These are not what I would have chose. This came from a Walmart pickup order. So yeah, and then these are supposed to be 3 pounds of red potatoes, but yeah, they don't look too red to me. They don't even really look that healthy, but I'll eat them, you know, and use them up. The red potatoes are a little bit better for you when you're picking a potato, lower in starch. And so I'm going to get a basket, line it with some paper towel, and put these right out on my counter as well. Okay guys, I just wanted to tell you, when I do my lettuces, I just leave them in those bags. And this is from last week. I left the hearts whole. This is how I had these stored, in like a little takeout container with the lid. And look at them, crispy, beautiful. This is my last week's spinach. And if you don't know if a vegetable is good or still good, or you're afraid, look at it, taste it, smell it. Well, don't always taste it in the beginning. Touch it, feel it, smell it. Greens will give off a nasty, bitter smell, you know, so you'll kind of know. Or you'll see nasty, you know, starting to brown, different things. But look at this. This has been in here for a whole week. This is a heart of romaine. And like I said, I kept the other 2 whole. There was 3 in the bag. This is my ginger. I just washed this a little, rinsed it with cool water. And I did see a bad spot on it. This is the fresh one I just got in today's order. Not last week's stuff, since I was showing you a few things from last week. I don't want you to get confused. But there's a little bad spot. So I'm just going to kind of cut that off and cut that out before storing it. And this is my computer. My cucumber from last week. Still looking good. It's not all slimy. I didn't cut that up until like maybe 4 or 5 days ago, so it's not a full week. But this is a container. It comes. It's like from Tupperware, the real Tupperware, back in the day, Tupperware products, and it has a nice top on it. And what I do is I store all my salad stuff in here, as much as I can fit, and then I just pull this out, and then that's where the cucumber is going to go that I showed you earlier. The bell peppers and I don't know, a couple other things, they'll go in there. So when I want to pull out stuff for a salad, I just pull out this container, and I'll usually have chopped onions, chopped bell peppers, and I'll put them in little containers as well. And I don't always use those the resealable bags, like, because I don't like to use them on a regular, because, you know, it's too much waste in the environment. So I try to use containers, reusable containers, like for instance this little takeout thing here. It worked perfect for like my romaine. And I don't wash the spinach or salads that come in the bags, because, you know, we don't have to, or so they say. So basically, I just got to do my celery, and then my celery, my carrots, which I always save the carrots for last because they're so hard to cut up. But yeah, so then we'll be done with this, and I hope you guys, finding this informative. I do have some other videos. Check them out. They're called Debbie Tips, and I'll link that above too. And just if you're looking for ways to help you out, save you money, save you time, and save on our purchase. Because you don't want to come out here and say, oh my gosh, this looks horrible, or this is ruined. Try to salvage it. Like, say you're going through here and you find a couple bad spots. No big deal. Just take that out. Cut it out. But listen to the crunch on this. You hear that? That's been in there for 4 or 5 days. And yeah, so like I said, touch it, feel it. If it's slimy, it's no good. If it's starting to turn black, brown, and then start using, and you have to use your own judgment. Because I remember, people ask me, my kids will ask me, how do you know if this is good? Well, how can you tell if these are still good? Smell it, look at it, feel it, listen to it. So yeah, let your senses help you through all these. And you can freeze ginger too. Just take these knobs, put them right in the freezer, and then just take out what you need. She gave me a pretty rough batch, I would say. I might have a little complaint with Walmart because I got to cut. Most of the time, I've been ordering for about 2-3 months. Everything comes pretty good. But this order and the last order, I did get a couple of things that I probably should complain about, especially the ginger, the potatoes, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I'll be back with some more helpful tips. So I have my celery and carrots soaking in the vinegar solution. Now celery is on the Dirty Dozen list, number 11, and I used to didn't think that celery was really a really dirty. Or no, I wouldn't say dirty, but because it always has a little dirt like right up in here. But since it was such a hard vegetable, I didn't think it was. But it is. It's on the Dirty Dozen list, and I'm going to post that at the end of this video in case you guys don't know what the Dirty Dozen list is. And it's just a list that I don't know who started it or where it comes from. Yeah, Deb, I guess you should know your information, your sources. But I don't know. It's been around for a long time. But they just added kale to the list like last year or the year before, which it wasn't on there. But now they just added it. But anyway, so I'm backtracking all off a track. Carrots, I sealed that bag back up. I'm gonna put those in my fridge. And this, like, I got a whole nother thing of celery. And then this here, I'm gonna wash these really good. Get in here really, really good because you get a lot of dirt in there. And I do use all the stuff at the top. I don't know what you call them. The leaves. There's my word. I didn't need to go get a dictionary out for that this time. No, just kidding. But anyway, then I'll show you how I store those in a minute. But the carrots, I clean them really well. You don't have to peel carrots. You can, but you don't have to. If I'm putting it into a recipe like this week I'm making some cabbage, I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to peel it for that. But if you're going to bake it, put it in the oven, roast them, you don't have to peel them. You really don't. And the celery, yeah, use the whole stalk. Don't let none of it go to waste. And back to that Dirty Dozen list, because I feel like I'm always getting off track and talking about something else. The items on the Dirty Dozen list, you should try to buy organic as best you can, because I know it's expensive. But if you can't buy organic, just use the vinegar solution that I told you. And even if you don't want to do the whole 3 cups or 3 parts of water, 1 part vinegar, like I do, 3 cups of water and 1 cup of vinegar. Just use some vinegar. Use some. Put a couple capfuls in there. I don't know how much that's gonna help, because I see people saying, "Oh, just put a little capful in there." I don't know if that's gonna help, but yeah, they have things out in the market. Vegetable sprays and all those different things. I don't recommend them. You can use a little baking soda. You can use lemon juice. Yeah, so just make sure you're cleaning your vegetables, prepping them, giving them extra special love and attention, and they will give you extra long shelf life. Okay, so when you're done rinsing your celery, I usually take the whole stalk like this. See, this is where that came off. And I cut it right there before that edge. See? So then you don't have to cut this edge and then that edge. You just cut one time. And then I usually cut them up into, you know, slight pieces like that. And then what I'll do is I'll come in here and I'll cut that edge off and that edge off because it's usually brown. And that's those right there. And I just take my celery. I'm just going to show you this for example because I'm getting tired. I'm tired. And I might do some more of this later. But then I just put this in a bowl or container. And I add a little bit of water to it. Some people will fill theirs right up. And that's how they store theirs with water. But I just keep a little bit in there just to keep it. And celery, you can also bring back to life if it starts dying on you. You can bring it back to life by soaking it in ice cold water. And yeah, that works. So yeah, same with the carrots. Just put them in a Ziploc bag. Oh, that's my dog Justice. He needs some loving and attention. And this is how I pre-do these. And then if I get tired and I don't have recipes, I store them like this. If this is just a normal, what's the word, Debbie? What's the word? Prepping them up. But then you can cut them into the shapes and sizes, which I got ahead of myself because I'm doing that video next. But yeah, so then just store these right in your fridge with your celery and the other big pack, and then, or you can keep them in water like I was telling you. Okay, and carrots can also be stored with water. It's okay if there's moisture in here. You can actually put a little water in there if you wanted to. Same with celery. Celery and carrots can be stored with water and they do fine. You can fill the whole bowl up and soak them, or like I do, I just put a little bit just to keep water in there. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on the end of this one or on the end of the next video, but I'm going to bring out all the food prep stuff, show you what I did, show you how I have it all set up, and yeah, make sure you watch the next video so you can see how I chop it per. This is how I prep it, you know, just in general. But then that's if I'm, you know, not prepared to do all the smaller chopping, I guess, because I got so many problems. Like right now, I'm out of breath. My legs are hurting. My back's killing me, and let me stop complaining. But anyway, so I'm not sure if I'm going to show that in the end of this one or onto the next one for the food prep. So like where I'll make my carrots into little matchsticks for one recipe I'm doing, or into just regular sticks to eat with hummus, or and so on. So yeah, so if not, I'll see you on the next one, and be blessed as always. Or I'm gonna come back on, you know, and add it in, you know how I do it. All right, guys. Okay, guys, so here we go. We got our fruits set up, some of them. I can keep my garlic and avocado in there. My tomatoes. I couldn't find a basket, so I'm just using this tin thing right now for these potatoes. And I got my onions over there. And then I got some other stuff in the fridge. But yeah, so these are the things you can keep out on your counter. And the rest you should keep in the fridge. And I'll show you some more as we go along.